That's the whole aim of these drinks, in my opinion. I mean, they're nice, they're refreshing, and they're tasty, and they're a good way to change up what you're consuming and the way you're getting your fruits and your vegetables. But my focus is really on nutrition here, because I think that having juices and smoothies in your diet is a great way to give yourself a real boost in vitamins, minerals, all the phytonutrients that are found in plants, and also a healthy dose of fiber, which is something we often don't get enough of. So here, look at the considerable list of things that drinking juices and smoothies can do for you. You know, I'll just point out a couple of the things that come along with consuming more liquids. You have much better hydration, and you, with using more vegetables in your diet, more fruits in your diet, you can really have an impact on any inflammation that could be started in your body. Inflammation, by the way, that you wouldn't even necessarily know about until it's too far along. So these things, believe it or not, can also help you become more insulin sensitive, so that you don't creep up with high blood sugar and pre-diabetes and so on. We have even a smoothie later on in this series that we make for better eye health. It just focuses on plants that have nutrients that are great for eye health. And so it does improve digestion, can relieve constipation, especially smoothies. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. So our servings of vegetables per day should be 5 or more. In fact, Dr. Terry Walls, who is a doctor who was diagnosed with MS, in fact, very severely progressing MS that was not really treatable with the best drugs and the best doctors, she went to work on her own self and created a diet, which is a version of a paleo diet. And the most important essence of that right now that I want to talk about is that she suggests 9 cups of fruits and vegetables a day, with the most of them in vegetables, 3 cups of leafy greens, 3 cups of brightly colored fruits and vegetables, and then 3 cups of sulfur-rich vegetables. Now, when I say, we all know what leafy greens are, right? Our lettuces and kales and spinach and so on. We know what brightly colored fruits and vegetables look like, but maybe we aren't too sure about sulfur-rich vegetables. What are they? Anybody know? Go ahead, Sylvia, you can unmute yourself.
Well, carrots and things like that, the squash, carrots.
That's interesting. I'm not sure about them being really high in sulfur. That's not what I was thinking. High in
green vegetables like kale, broccoli, that sort of thing.
That's exactly right. The cruciferous kinds of vegetables. So broccoli, kale, what else were you saying? Brussels sprouts even.
Brussels sprouts.
You know, the ones that really kind of smell that way when they start to get off, you can tell they have sulfur in them. So thanks for that. Thanks for that contribution though, Sylvie, because that would be those are good guesses. So let's look at this question that Karen brought up. You know, is it better for us to drink smoothies and just forget about the juices, because aren't they better for us? And my bottom line with you for today is that they're both good. And here's why I think they're both good. First is that if Dr. Walls is telling us to get 9 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, that's a lot of eating, right? And sometimes we have to have vegetables on our plate for every meal. And that's quite a few vegetables and fruits. And sometimes it's really just hard to do. So this is a way for us to get more in an easier, more easily consumed fashion. So when we look at juices, what are we doing? We are extracting the essence of that fruit or that vegetable into its juice. And it can then allow us to dramatically increase our vegetable and fruit intake because it's not real bulky. And why is it not bulky when we juice? What's happening?
We're removing the fiber.
Liquefying it.
bulk
We're
part
taking
of
the
it.
fiber out of it. We're taking the insoluble fiber out of it. And the insoluble fiber is what bulks up our the matter in our intestines. It is really, really good for our bowels. You know, it helps things move through nicely, but it also really fills us up. And it can be hard on digestion for some people. Fiber is not to be taken lightly. If you decide that today you're taking 10 grams of fiber, you better up it. If you start to suddenly take 25 grams of fiber in your diet a day, you might feel a little achy, a little painy, a little bloaty. And so fiber can be hard. It isn't digestible. It moves things through and your body will need time to adjust. So when you're trying to take in more fruits and vegetables and you need to digest a little easier, juice can help you do that. Some people who are on medications, chemotherapy, and so on will tend to juice because they don't have the capacity in the short term to be able to digest things as well. And they need something easier on the system, but very highly nutritious. So those are some of the good reasons for having juice. Lots of vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients ingested in a very easy, digestible form. It does remove the insoluble fiber. However, it does maintain the soluble fiber in the fruits and vegetables. So that's good news. There's two types of fiber. And the go ahead. Somebody have a question? Thought I heard a voice. So the soluble fiber is the fiber that is soluble in water. Insoluble fiber, the stuff that bulks us up, is not soluble in water. The soluble fiber stays in juice, and that is something that does help us to control it absorbs cholesterol. It helps us to lower our insulin sensitivity, and just a few other things here. Let's take a look. Here we go. I know that you can't maybe read this because it's very light, but I'm just going to scan this short paragraph. I've told you a lot about this. Soluble fiber is fiber that dissolves in water, forming a sort of gel. Both types are beneficial. Insoluble adds bulk during digestion, allowing more regularity. Soluble fiber absorbs cholesterol from the intestines, and it acts as a prebiotic. So if you've heard a lot of information about building your gut microbiome, this is one of the things that soluble fiber does. It's really a prebiotic. That means before a probiotic. It's a food that is beneficial to those bacteria. It feeds those. So it's really got a good health profile. And we should be getting 25 grams of soluble fiber every day.